Congress wrestled Reconstruction away from the president. In 1866, radicals took over Congress after midterm elections and had enough power to pass laws over a presidential veto. Reconstruction moved away from the executive branch and over to the legislative branch. President Andrew Johnson tried to block their actions, but Congress no longer needed his approval and pushed past him. In 1867, they began to dismantle the presidential approach to Reconstruction. The United States Army occupied the defeated South and divided the region into military districts. Texas became joined with Louisiana in the 5th Military District. The military would govern until Congress could impose its new rules. The U.S. Army also returned to the Texas frontier. After the promising start with the Treaty of the Little Arkansas, the U.S. government re-examined how much territory it wanted to give up to the Comanches. On October 21, 1867, Native representatives and U.S. authorities signed the Treaty of Medicine Lodge Creek. The Comanches and associated tribes, the Southern Cheyenne, the Arapaho, the Apaches, Kiowas, the Kiowa Apaches, all agreed to a much diminished reservation in what is now the southwest corner of Oklahoma. Even with the promise of regular rations, supplies of clothing and blankets, and housing, the Comanche dream of their glory days died hard. To enforce this treaty, the United States built a third line of forts across the Texas frontier, thereby containing the Comanches and the other signatories of the Medicine Lodge Treaty, and to keep them from raiding into Mexico. This new line of forts included Fort Richardson in Jacksboro, Fort Griffin near present-day Albany, Fort Concho in present-day San Angelo, and the reactivation of Forts McCavitt, Davis, and Bliss. U.S. troops also established Fort Hancock on the shoulder of the Big Bend country. Fort Sill in Oklahoma, built in 1869, was key to this plan and served as the headquarters for the Comanche Reservation. The United States developed a new Indian policy on the Great Plains. Officials put together a commission that worked to return peace to the frontier. Concluding that the U.S. government had not acted in good faith, the officials decided to reset the national policy toward the indigenous peoples. Like all human populations, the commissioners concluded, there were some natives inclined towards peaceful coexistence and some that were not. Policymakers made a very clear distinction between friendly and hostile Indians and worked out ways to drive a wedge between these two factions. The friendly Indians would be assimilated through presents and rations, while the hostiles would enter the criminal justice system and be tried in criminal courts where their offenses occurred. The troops that came to the Texas frontier were poorly equipped and poorly led. Morale remained dismal. To enforce this new government policy, General Philip Sheridan, commanding the Department of the Missouri, ordered a campaign against natives who resisted moving to the reservations. On November 27, 1868, troops from Kansas, New Mexico, and Colorado converged on several villages on the Washita River. Colonel George A. Custer led a column that slaughtered dozens of non-combatants, led by Southern Cheyenne leader Blackcoat, while most hostile warriors remained unharmed. Indian policy on the Great Plains grew tangled and confused.